Today on the Oregon News Daily Update, we'll see how Oregon men's basketball turned their season around. Then, the measles have broken out again in the Pacific Northwest. Also, how does the Eugene Airport operate under inclement weather? And what did Oregon Governor Kate Brown do in response to the recent snowstorm? All that and more coming up here on Oregon News. Good afternoon and welcome to the Oregon News Studio. I'm Brenten Kelly and here are today's top stories. Oregon men's basketball defeated the Arizona Wildcats mightily 73-47 Saturday for the Ducks' last home game of the season. With the win, pushed the Ducks' record to 17-12. Freshman Lewis King continues his impactful first year as he led the Ducks in scoring with 14 points. Oregon went on two 12-0 scoring runs to blow out the Wildcats. The Ducks still have a chance for the NCAA tournament, but they would have to win the entire Pac-12 tournament in order to have an automatic bid in the Big Dance. Oregon's next game is Wednesday, March 6th at Washington State. Oregon health officials have announced a new case of the measles that recently broke out at the Portland airport this past week. An unvaccinated Illinois resident visited the airport and spent time in Salem, Oregon while carrying the disease. This recent case only increases the staggering number to the Pacific Northwest. According to the CDC, there have been 159 measles cases nationwide through February 21st. The state of Washington accounts for 69 of those cases. However, most of those cases are to children under 10 years old who have yet to be vaccinated. State legislators for both Washington and Oregon are considering to remove the current medical exceptions to parents with religious or philosophical objections to vaccinate their children. Speaking of airports, winter is coming to Eugene. Travelers out of the Eugene Airport will need to be alert when flying this season. It's that time of year for citizens of Eugene to prepare for the winter weather, especially for potential flyers. As the airport service manager, Andrew Martz is in charge of the public information for the Eugene Airport.
Well, we're prepared for this type of weather. I mean, it's not unusual for this area, so we have the necessary equipment and training and personnel in order to make sure that we can keep the airport open and running. The airport doesn't close, even for weather, and that's because we have capable people here who are trained to keep the runway clear and make sure planes are able to come and go safely and on time.
According to Martz, the average traveler will often confuse the delays with the airport, when in reality, there are other factors in play.
Most of our issues really stem from weather in places like Seattle or San Francisco, which are also very busy airports. So I would say the vast majority of any kind of delays we get stem from problems in those areas, not from us.
Eugene's extreme weather includes fog, snow, and ice.
Well, our job as the airport is to keep the runway and all the taxiways clear and available for the aircraft to use. Each individual airline actually takes care of their own planes.
That sound you hear behind me is one of the planes being de-iced here at the Eugene Airport. Flyers should expect similar or worse weather conditions next week here in Eugene. The Eugene Airport advises travelers to arrive to the airport 2 hours early and to check the status of their flight through their airline. Time for a break here on the Oregon News Daily Update. When we return, find out why Governor Kate Brown issued a statewide emergency. Then we'll continue the weather trend as we look at the forecast for the upcoming week. Stay with us.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Oregon Governor Kate Brown declared an emergency in 10 counties on Thursday. The state of Oregon has seen the overall snowpack rise from 70% to 119% since early February. But now there are places where the snowpack has risen to 160%, which triggered the statewide emergency. Brown ordered the Oregon Office of Emergency Management to deploy the Transportation Department, police, and Oregon National Guard to offer aid where needed. Lane County is one of the 10 counties under the emergency areas. The past week saw businesses and schools close for days at a time, such as the University of Oregon. This emergency will be in effect for the next 30 days, but could end early if the snow decreases. Speaking of weather, let's look ahead to this week's forecast. Eugene has hopefully seen the worst of the snow last week because this week will feature a more tame, cloudy, and rain forecast. Monday will have a high of 41 and a chilly low of 22 degrees, while Thursday's high will be even colder with a high of 34 and a low of 25. Wednesday will be more of the same with a high of 35 and a low of 30. Expect light rain with the cold temperatures for both Tuesday and Thursday. For those heading up to Portland next week, expect more of the same with the chilly weather. Monday will have a high of 42 and a low of 27. Tuesday will be almost identical with a high of 43 and a low of 28. But Wednesday will drop to the mid to low 30s with a high of 37 and a low of 32. Also expect light rain to go along with the cold temperatures on Wednesday. That's all we have for today's update. Thanks for watching and have a great day, Eugene.